16-hour days. It's been insane.
I feel you.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. Why I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, still listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasher here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page, of course. Check out the blog section as well. New blogs each and every day over there at manhourradio.com. We got a great show for you guys today. It is Way or No Way Wednesday. We are going to talk a little bit about the Jeff Saturday hiring again. Matthew Stafford was placed on concussion protocol. The Seahawks are underdogs. What? Ravens defense is stellar again. And the Vikings versus Bills. Who is more important to that game? And of course, we're going to talk Beasties NFL power rankings of how crapped they are. But first, we got to get shocked.
So all year long, I've been talking with Bears fans about our football team. And I've been telling you guys, chill out with Justin Fields. He's going to be the guy. He is the guy. You've just got to give him time to progress. He's sitting inside of a pocket that is constantly collapsing. He doesn't have any wide receivers. And everybody's always like, oh, well, he doesn't do this. He misses this. He misses that. The Bears have the 31st, sorry. So they're second lowest in yards after the catch by wide receivers. They have 9 dropped passes this year. And Justin Fields, over the last 3 weeks, has just come unglued since they've opened him up. He is on fire. Not only did he break Michael Vick's record this past week and rush for 178 yards, but this guy is also out there completing passes. What against the Cowboys was that like 73.9% or something like that. Had 120 passer rating in that game, 106.7 passer rating in the Dolphins game, and really was a blatantly missed pass interference call away from beating the Miami Dolphins in that game. Torched the New England Patriots in New England, a top 10 defense every single season. And I'm still hearing chatter about, well, he can't do this and he can't do that. Chill out on Justin Fields. Justin Fields is the guy. And the more they build around him, like the addition of Chase Claypool, which is certainly going to help with the yak, because that guy is an angry wide receiver. That guy catches the ball angry. He runs after he catches the ball angry. He is the prototypical wide receiver that the Bears needed. $114 million in cap space this year. $114 million this offseason to build around Justin Fields. They're not going to win 10, 11 games this year. They're not going to make the playoffs. But chill out. Let the guy develop. Let the guy figure out what to do when the pocket is bad. What is he doing? He's escaping pressure. Buck, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question about the NFL. If you go against the Bears right now, you're a coach, right? You coach football.
Yep.
If you were coaching a team right now and you were going up against the Chicago Bears, what would be your defensive strategy going up against the Chicago Bears?
Spy Justin Fields and take him out.
Contain Justin Fields. You contain Justin Fields, you're going to win the game going away because they don't have any other weapons. Contain Justin Fields. And what has happened the last 3 weeks when the NFL knows all you got to do is contain Justin Fields? He has been tearing it up. Even though defenses know that he is the target, he is still tearing them up. So imagine what happens when this man gets weapons. Justin Fields is the real deal. Justin Fields is the man in Chicago, and Justin Fields is the quarterback of the future for the Chicago Bears, and it's going to be a fun future. So buckle up, Bears fans, and calm down and chill out on my boy Justin Fields. Man Hour Nation, rise up.
All righty, man. That is my man, Beastie Combs, at Man Hour Beastie, if you guys want to hit him up on the old Twitter machine. But Beastie, we're on the show for what, about once a week now. Far cry from our 5 days a week, 2 hours, and what we used to have. So I am glad you are here, man. I missed you. You were looking pretty good today, man. What have you been doing? Like, have you been shaving? Have you been, because I feel like we have a shave bet that you haven't yet to fulfill.
Fair enough. I do still have a shave bet that I have yet to fulfill. That's about the 70 that Buck still owes us, but you know,
Right.
we'll digress from that. No, man, look, I've been working. A lot of things going on at work. Some spots have opened up, and my workload has increased tremendously. So it's been 13, 14, 15-hour work days over the last couple of weeks. So bear with me, but I'm here. We started the Chicago show this past week. It was a huge hit, huge success. Got a lot of people chiming in. Still looking for a co-host, somebody who loves Chicago sports just as much as I do. It'd be great to have somebody else to talk to, somebody else to beat down every week like I do my boy Michael Buckheister.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, man. Look, life is good. Just living it one day at a time.
Yeah, and that's all we can do is live one day at a time. And we see our man Alpha Rob in the chat. What's up, guys? What is up, Alpha Rob? Glad you are with us tonight. We are going to talk more about your Buffalo Bills as we do each and every night. See, like as of late. But Beastie, the Buffalo Bills lost on Sunday to the New York Football Jets. And that reflected in your power rankings. You had them drop down a little bit, but people are still kind of upset with your power rankings. And quite frankly, I don't know why. You guys understand, like, being undefeated doesn't mean you're the best team in the NFL. But Beastie, you finally broke down and you put the Philadelphia Eagles at number 1 in your power rankings. Why in the hell did you put the Philadelphia Eagles at number 1?
Because the Philadelphia Eagles still have not lost a game in the NFL season. You talk all you want about, they haven't played anybody. They're 8-0, but they're the worst 8-0 team you've ever seen. Blah 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 blah. It's just nonsense. They beat everybody that's in front of them. I don't care where the teams they're beating where they are. It's the teams that are on their schedule. So what you're telling me, all that tells me is that they're 8-0 because they've won 8 games that they should win. If all of those teams were teams that you believe were nobodies, then those are teams that the Philadelphia Eagles absolutely should have won. So tell me one good reason why the Philadelphia Eagles don't belong at number 1. If you don't believe the Philadelphia Eagles belong at number 1, I don't know what to tell you. They beat the Lions. They beat the Minnesota Vikings. They beat the Commanders. They beat the Jaguars. They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Cowboys. They beat the Steelers. They beat the Texans. So the Vikings and the Cowboys are 2 very quality wins. In Arizona, it's a decent win because that's a tough place to play. And the Lions, they beat 38-35, and the Lions for the first 4 weeks were the highest scoring offense in the league. So I don't know where else I can put them.
So me being a realist type of person that I am, because let's be honest, I'm the realest person on this show. If they had beaten everybody that they're supposed to beat, why didn't you have them at number 1 previous weeks? Why did it take you to week 10 to put them at the number 1 field or at the number 1 spot?
Because look, the Buffalo Bills to me were a better team. And to me, I think that if they play the Buffalo Bills, I think if they play the Kansas City Chiefs, they might get their first loss.
So why have them at number 1?
I do believe that. But Right now, it's a week by week power ranking. And the week by week power ranking right now suggests to me that I can't have a team with 0 losses behind a team with 2 losses. And that's what the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs both are. They are 2 games better than the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills lost a tough game. Look, you say what you want about them being the Jets. It was still the Jets, and it's still a divisional game, and anything happens in divisional games. We know that. That's divisional games are the toughest games to win, period. And the Jets are a lot better than people thought they would be, just like the Giants are a lot better than the people thought they would be, because that's just where teams better than anybody else in the NFL belong at number 1 in a week by week power ranking.
All right. So now that we've let the chicken out of the egg, or as they call it, I don't know what they say, but whatever. They let the peanut butter lick off the ladies. Coming in at number 10, you do have the Tennessee Titans, fresh off the loss of the Kansas City Chiefs. They did rattle off 5 wins in a row. Malik Willis was, I think he is a better version of Lamar Jackson than Lamar Jackson is. So why do you have them still in your top 10 after a loss versus the Kansas City Chiefs?
Oh, I mean, because the Tennessee Titans is a loss against the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, you kind of look at it like college, right? In a week by week power ranking, it's kind of like a college ranking almost. Like, I'm a little bit smarter than the college ranking system because I'm not just going to keep Alabama close to try to get them into a playoff spot. But
easy.
You look at the Tennessee Titans, and they were I believe I had them at 7 last week, and then they lose a tight game in overtime, nonetheless. In Kansas City, nonetheless, I believe, correct? Was that game in Kansas City or Tennessee?
It was in Kansas City, the Arrowhead Stadium.
So you go into Arrowhead, you take Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to overtime, and you lose in overtime on a field goal. So I don't know why I would drop them more than the 3 spots that I did. Name me a team that belongs in the top 10 over the Tennessee Titans right now.
San Francisco 49ers.
You're out of your mind.
I was just saying what people
why are the San Francisco 49ers better than Tennessee Titans?
I have no idea. That's what the people were saying in the chat.
Yeah, but see, people are blinded by their fandom, right? Like I had a guy tell me today, oh, well, you know, the Cowboys should be over the Giants. Well, why? I told you the Giants have two really good quality wins, and the Giants' only quality win, or the Cowboys' only quality win, is against the Giants. So yes, they beat them, and he comes back. Oh, well, they beat the Giants. Okay, cool. Well, you know what? I believe I came back with the Colts beat the Chiefs. Are the Colts better than the Chiefs? Last I checked, they're not.
Right.
So just because you're a Cowboys fan doesn't mean the Cowboys are better than everybody else because you're a Cowboys fan. Do I have the Bears at number 1, Buck?
No, but you should.
No, I don't even have them in my top 15.
Right.
Because I'm realistic. So you come at me with your fandom, that's fine. But I'm going to come back at you with why they're there. And I promise you, I have a damn good reason as to why each team is where they're at.
Okay, so this team that just played the Chicago Bears, the Miami Dolphins, they went toe-to-toe with them, and it ended up being a shootout, 35-32. Ultimately ended up beating the Chicago Bears. And spoiler alert, guys, the Miami Dolphins are undefeated when Tua starts and completes a full game. So, Combs, you have them at number 9. Many people are saying that they're too low. Explain to me why you have them at number 9.
They just gave up 178 rushing yards to a quarterback. They just gave up 240-something plus yards of rushing to the Chicago Bears. They just got into a shootout with the Chicago Bears. And I'm telling you right now, they're a missed defensive pass interference, a couple, but we'll just give them the one. And I don't blame it on the refs. Look, the Bears had some drop passes in that game too that could have helped them out. But that pass to Claypool with 3 minutes to go in the game, where he got tackled by not one, but 2 Miami Dolphins defenders before the ball got there, was a clear missed pass interference where the ref was standing right in front of it, by the way. It was such a joke. Officiating in the NFL is another story we need to talk about at some point. But they just got into a shootout, and they almost lost to the Chicago Bears. You tell me one team that's above them right now that they are better than right now.
One team that's better than the Miami Dolphins, or not better than the Miami, or like so.
Who's ahead of them that's not better than them?
Well, I can't say because we haven't gone that far up yet, but I would safely say that number 8, Seattle Seahawks, are a team that is better than Miami Dolphins right now. And another team that you say that people are saying that you have too low are the Seahawks coming in at number 8. Why do you got them so low?
Why do I got them low? I look, eight I think is a good number for them. You know, you look at the 7 teams that I have ahead of them, and again, I don't see a team that's ahead of them that you can say, "Hey, look, I don't think that they're better than the Cowboys. I don't think that they're better than, you know, some of these teams that I have in the top tier." Like they're just not. They're there. Like I like what I'm seeing. Like the fact that Geno Smith right now is my starting fantasy quarterback, and I have like he started for me last week, and I the last 2 weeks, and when he started for me 2 weeks ago, I set the high score for the season in our league. Like Geno Smith right now is doing things in Seattle, and we have to start talking more about what Geno Smith is doing in Seattle, because look at what Russell Wilson is not doing in Denver. They're winning ball games in Seattle with Geno Smith. Geno Smith is doing his thing, and that is why the Seattle Seahawks are where they are. I'm not ready to put them ahead of the Cowboys. I'm not ready to put them ahead of the Giants. I'm not ready to put them ahead of, you know, our top 5 teams. But what Geno Smith is doing, you know, with his 73% completion percentage, by the way, with, you know, his, I believe he's got something like, I think he's already got like 2,200 yards passing.
Whoa.
He's got something like 15 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Like Geno Smith is doing some things, and I like what he's doing. I like what I see out of this team. Yeah, they're right now they are the 7th best team in the NFL.
Wow. You mean the eighth best team?
Sorry,
yeah, it's the 8th best team, because coming in at number 7, you do have the New York Football Jets, the team that just beat the number 1 team in the Buffalo Bills. How are they not a top 5 team?
Just again, it's just a process of look. Just because, yes, you had a good game, you beat a team who many believe, myself included, that is probably the best team in the NFL, and you had a good game. Look, you're playing against a quarterback though. They had a torn UCL, and you almost lost that game. So they're good. They're doing things. They're winning football games. They're winning games that they have no business winning, and they're just good right now. So give them their props. They are where they are, but they are not better than the teams that are ahead of them. I believe if you put them head to head with any of the teams that are ahead of them, I think that they lose the football game.
Yeah, and then coming in at number 6, you do have the Dallas Cowboys. And then at number 5, you have the New York Giants, the teams that basically I share this to NFC East groups, and everybody's like, the Cowboys should be above the Giants, yada, yada, yada. And I said just exactly what you said earlier. By that logic, then the Cowboys and Giants should be both below 8 or lower, because the Giants lost to the Seahawks and then yada, yada, yada. But explain to me why you got the Cowboys at 6 and the Giants at 5. Why do you not have them flip-flop like people think you should?
Buck, are you ready for a clip? Can you clip this for me?
Clip it.
Cowboys fans, shut the fuck up. My God, I'm so sick of Cowboys fans. You know why you're at 6? Because you keep talking. Shut up. You're not better than the Giants right now heading into week 10. You're just not. You could say, oh, well, we beat them head to head. Great. There's lots of teams that beat other teams in the NFL that they're not better than. But you're the 6th best team in the NFL right now. Hey, well, we're not number 5. Shut up. You guys are probably the most annoying fan base I have ever met in my entire life.
Oh.
Cowboys fans keep coming at you. Oh, well, we're not number 5. How are we not better than the Giants? We beat them head to head, and we did it with a backup quarterback. You were 4-1 with that backup quarterback. It's not like he was some scrub that came off the streets. It's not like you picked him up and he was teaching in a classroom the week prior. This is a guy who up until then was undefeated as a starter until he lost his last game before Dak Prescott came back from injury. You guys got a great team. You guys are a really good football team. I believe that you still have a chance to win the NFC East. But shut up. Shut up.
A chance, Combs? You were talking
Yeah,
about the best
they already
team
lost
in
to
the
the
NFC,
Eagles.
baby.
They already lost to the Eagles.
It doesn't matter.
They lost to the Eagles.
Hey, Combs.
God.
When was the last time a Super Bowl was won? Was it won in February or November? I'm asking for a friend.
When was the last time the Cowboys won one in February?
1996, baby. 1996, baby. But the Cowboys,
And
are Super Bowl
fans are
bound,
still
baby.
living there.
Cowboys fans, do not listen to my man Beastie. Casey's like, you're my hero. Shut the fuck up. Cowboys going to the Super Bowl, baby. Number 4.
The Cowboys are losing like they do every year, and that's in the first round of the playoffs.
At least they'll make the playoffs,
Probably
unlike
to
your
the
Chicago
Giants.
Bears. A
Probably
team that
the
is going to make the
Giants.
playoffs, though, is the number 4 Minnesota Vikings. Why you got them at number 4 after a struggle battle with the Commanders?
Look, the Commanders are a good team. You went on the road, and they've got a good defense. And you know that I think that organization is about to turn it around. Daniel Snyder's about to sell. You know, they're about to get, you know, to a point where they're going to probably be able to spend some money, and that team's going to get really good. They've already got a really good, solid core on that defense in Washington. So, but Minnesota just continues to win. They find a way to win. They do it every week. They are a good team. I believe they are, next to the Eagles, the best team in the NFC. And so that's why I have them at 4.
Well, Combs, I hate to burst your bubble. Eagles are not best team in the NFC. The Vikings are not the best team in the
Really?
NFC.
Who's beat the Eagles?
Nobody as of yet. Wait till next week.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
I'm
just wondering.
But a team that has 2 losses on the season, but everybody still thinks they're the best team in the NFL period, is a team that you have coming in at number 3, and that is the Buffalo Bills. They only dropped 2 spots after losing to the New York Football Jets, but why do you have them at number 3?
Look, it's a tough loss. You know, and there was thought about dropping them lower. I did think about dropping them lower only because I think that this injury to Josh Allen could be a big problem. But this isn't that's what people need to understand. The power rankings aren't what are you going to be. The power rankings are what are you. And right now, that's the 3rd best team in the NFL, right? Because you went out in they came into your house, because this game was in Buffalo. They came into your house and beat you. And so you got to take something on the chin for that. And last week you were number 1. Now you lost. Now you're number 3.
Well,
I mean, it's just how it works. You're 2 games worse than the Eagles. The Eagles now have that spot until they lose a game. I mean, I don't see how I can have them any lower than number 1 right now, being 2 games better than everybody.
So I see what you're saying about the Eagles, and I do agree with you to an extent. But if we're doing week-to-week power rankings, and let's say Josh Allen is out moving forward with that UCL injury, I have no idea what a fucking UCL is, but whatever. I digress from
Part
that.
of your elbow.
Yeah, I know it's on your elbow, but I don't know what a UCL is. But with that being said, do you think the Buffalo Bills can legitimately beat any team in this top 10 without Josh Allen?
It's kind of a loaded question. Can they? Yes, right? Because they're playing the Vikings this week.
Right.
And I don't know if Case Keenum is that guy that can come in and he can probably keep you afloat. I mean, you got plenty of weapons. Stephon Diggs, Isaiah McKenzie, Devin Singletary. They just picked up Nyheim Hines, Dawson Knox. So you've got plenty of weapons, and your defense is good enough to at least keep you in it. And Case Keenum can be a good enough game manager to keep them afloat. they're about to play one of these other teams, a team that's right behind them, actually, and they're about to play the Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
So if they beat the Minnesota Vikings with Case Keenum, and if the Eagles lose, guess where Buffalo goes right back to? Number one.
Does that knock the Eagles out of the top 5? Say it, baby.
I don't know. I'd have to see it.
Don't be
I'd
scared.
have to see how they lose, right?
Right.
You lose a tight game, you lose, you know what I mean? It's just a matter of how it happens. So I don't know if it'll knock them out of the top 5, but I mean, Buffalo would definitely, if a win with Case Keenum, I mean, hell, I might even think about putting them back up there and forgetting everything I said about being 2 games below.
Right.
I mean, I might do it, but that's just, yes, they can stay afloat with Case Keenum.
Right. So just to recap the top 10 here, he has the Titans at 10, the Dolphins at number 9, the Seahawks at 8, 7 the Jets, 6 Cowboys, 5 Giants, 4 Vikings, 3 the Buffalo Bills, 2 Kansas City Chiefs, and 1 the Philadelphia Eagles, which we've already touched on a little bit here. Is there any team that's kind of scratching and kind of has been tugging at your heart a little bit that might make an appearance in the top 10? Because I feel these are the 10 teams that like you have kind of had in there the last 3 weeks. You just kind of shuffled them around anybody. Is there a team on the outside looking in that could possibly find their way in this week?
Yeah. So for me, you know, I really like the Chargers. They're right outside of this at 11. So I mean, like, it was a good win against the Falcons, a good comeback win against the Falcons because they fell down quick in that game. I think it was 17-0 at one point. And they won 20-17. They play the Niners this week on Sunday Night Football. Then they got the Chiefs next week. So I think a win versus the Niners this week might vault them into the top 10. Depending on what the other teams in the top 10 do, and a win over the Chiefs next week would definitely, it would knock somebody out and move them into it. So the Chargers are the team that's tugging at me to get them into the top 10.
Yeah, and also on the flip side of that coin, the Chargers do play back-to-back Sunday night games since that Chiefs-Chargers game did get flexed to Sunday night the following week. So there's going to be a lot of primetime eyes on that team. So there's going to be a lot of people falling in love with the Chargers if they do beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But there are a couple of comments that I want to address before we move into way or no way here on this Wednesday's edition of Man Hour Combs. And my man Alpha Rob over here on youtube.com/Man Hour says the offense might be better balanced with Case Keenum at quarterback versus Josh Allen. Do you agree with that?
Man. No. That's a tough one, man. I don't think that you're more balanced with Case Keenum because Case Keenum's just going to manage the clock. Case Keenum's going to come in and he's going to be that guy that can slow things down for you, right? Like what was his name? Nick Foles, right? A guy that can do enough to get you a win when you need it, but not a guy you want seeing leading you into the future. Josh Allen's a stud. I mean, Josh Allen's
right.
Just Josh Allen. He's a top, 3 quarterback in the league right now.
He's the best quarterback in the league right now. I'll say it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a guy still named Tom Brady who's playing. So, and I don't care what his record
played
is.
Great
It's
for
still
44 seconds. Congratulations.
There's still a guy named Tom Brady who's winning. Yeah, played great for 44 seconds. You had 13 seconds last year that you won't let Bills fans forget about. So knock it off. So, no, he's up there, and I like what he's doing, but I'd have to disagree that the offense would be more balanced under Keenum.
See, and I'm going to take everything that you just said and use it against you. By how you milk the clock and run the clock down is you run the damn ball. And right now, the Buffalo Bills are at least 80% pass-happy offense. Every 8 out of 10 plays, they're going to pass the ball. And that 9 out of 10, and then that 1 out of 10 plays that they do run the ball, is probably going to be Josh Allen scrambling or a design quarterback sneak or run, right? So it is definitely centralized around Josh Allen and his arm ability and his running ability. When you do put a quarterback like Case Keenum in there, you have to use those running backs like Nyheim Hines that they just picked up, like not Michael Singletary, but Singletary, like they basically forget that he is a really good running back. Singletary is a damn good running back. He would probably be a top 5 running back in the league on any other team, but the fact that the Buffalo Bills don't run the ball is why he is like bottom half of the league in rushing yards and shit like that. It's just like they will definitely be a lot more balanced because of everything that you said. They will milk the clock. They will run the ball. They will rely on their defense to win them a lot of games. I mean, by no way, stretch of the imagination, am I saying Case Keenum is better than Josh Allen. That's just not out there. That is just not in the cards. Case Keenum knows who he is, and he knows his role. His role is to come in there and relieve him for 2 or 3 games till that UCL is fully injured, and then the Buffalo Bills can make that Super Bowl push. So, Alpha Rob, I do agree with you. I think the offense will be more balanced with Case Keenum in there.
How many plays do you get in an NFL game, do you think?
Probably
maybe
60 apiece.
80?
Yeah, 60 to 80 apiece, yeah.
Okay.
So 80 would be on a high end, but yeah, I'd say like 60.
When Case Keenum is their quarterback, how many pass plays do you think how many attempts is Case Keenum going to have this week?
25 to 30.
You're crazy.
Why?
You're crazy. You're not giving Case Keenum the ball in his hands 25 to 30 times.
Okay, so you were saying that they're going to be a more run-happy offense?
Correct.
You are going to take Stephon Diggs out of it. You're going to take Gabriel Davison out of it. You're going to take McKenzie out of it. You are going to take the threat down the field out of it. You're not going to take them
out of it, but you're going to limit it because that's what you have to do when Case Keenum is coming in under center.
Okay, so right now Josh Allen is averaging 40 passes a game. He's averaging 40 passes a game. 25 is nearly cutting that in half.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to be closer to 15 to 20.
Wow.
15 to 20. So to me, that's not a balanced offense, right? Because you're going to have 15 to 20 pass plays, but you're going to have, probably between 35 and 45 run plays.
Okay.
That's not balanced. It's going to be run happy. You're not going to put the ball in Case. I can't imagine the winning recipe for the Buffalo Bills this weekend would be putting the ball in the hands of Case Keenum 25 to 30 times.
Wasn't Case Keenum just a starter at Minnesota like 4 years ago? Led them to the playoffs?
Like 4 years ago, and he hasn't been a starter since.
Okay.
What does that tell you?
I mean, obviously the ability is still there. He's been backing up Josh Allen, right? I don't know where he was at before he went to Buffalo because obviously
he was in Chicago, I believe.
Case Keenum was in Chicago last year.
He was backing up.
So he was a third string to Nick Foles.
I thought he was in Chicago. Maybe he wasn't. Trying to think of where he was.
There's no way he was in Chicago because Chicago had Justin Fields, Andy Dalton.
He was in Cleveland. He was in Cleveland.
Okay.
He was in Cleveland last year.
Okay. I mean, backup to Baker Mayfield is not a bad thing.
I guess. I mean, his most starts in a season came with I believe the Broncos in 2018, and he had 3,800 pass yards, but he had 18 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. Not exactly a whirlwind of a season. He did have a good season in Minnesota back in 2017.
He has been a journeyman. He's been to the Washington team. You can call it the Redskins, whatever you want.
That's what I'm saying. He's that guy that can keep you grounded. But you got to remember too, you're going up against the Minnesota Vikings this week, I should say. Okay. So you're gonna be facing a pretty stout defense, and I mean, I just don't know. I want the ball in his hands 25 to 30 times. I can't imagine that's a recipe for success.
I see what you're saying. Also, a quarterback that you don't want in the ball 25 to 30 times in a game, and that's Tua. And Casey over here at Facebook.com/manhour says, hate me for this if you want, but Tua isn't that good. He just has the wide receivers to carry him and make him look good. What do you think about that, Combsy? Facts, Casey. Facts. Tua fucking sucks.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. The man's half dead. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Look, Tua. I don't know. I wouldn't say Tua's making me a believer, but Tua's
A believer
Tua.
in what?
And
that anybody can play quarterback in the NFL?
He's finding a way to win. I mean,
Or
like you said,
is Mike McDaniels finding a way to win?
They're undefeated when he starts.
Well, look who they played. The only thing they played worthwhile since he played is the freaking Buffalo Bills. And the Bills forgot to show up that game for 3.5 quarters.
All right.
Are you ready to get into our ways or no ways, Combsy?
Let's do it.
Let me play the intro.
No way.
Yes way. Yes way. All right, guys, here on Way or No Way, it is very cut and dry. We got 5 topics here, and we simply ask if it's a way or if it's a no way. So, Combsy, are you ready to get started?
Way.
So the first way or no way of the night, guys, Matthew Stafford has officially been put into concussion protocol. It is found out on Tuesday that he had a concussion from the game on Sunday. So 2 days have passed and they found out, oh, by the way, Matthew Stafford has a concussion. He's to enter it in this protocol. So Combs, we saw a wide receiver by Amon St. Brown, the Detroit Lions wide receiver, go into concussion protocol in a game cleared in the first quarter, but then he had to be taken out because they said he, quote, saw them wobble on the field. So, Combs, way or no way, Vegas has a say of whether a person gets pulled out of a concussion because of a game, or get pulled out of a game because of a concussion. Vegas /money/ratings. Way or no way?
Well, Buck, this is something that I've been kind of investigating over, I don't know, I would say probably at least for about a year now, right? And that is that a lot of people say the NFL is rigged. And I used to think that meant that players and coaches and all that would be in on it. And I said, there's no way. Like, there's no way you're going to have a professional athlete drop games during his career when he's trying to get paid. Athletes are trying to get the most money that they want. So I started thinking about it. Maybe the NFL is rigged, right? Maybe the NFL is in on it, which would include referees, which would include owners, and which would include Vegas. You keep the circle small, you pay people well, and you can find ways to rig what you got. And people are like, oh, yeah, right, come on, conspiracy theory. Let's take the Bears game into example, right? Did you see that last play, Buck? The one, well, not the last play, but the one, the pass interference they did not call, with the referee standing right in front of it, by the way. You know what the spread on that game was?
4.
It was the Dolphins plus 2.5. I'm sorry, the Dolphins plus 3.5 in that game. All of the money was on, or I'm sorry, it was the Dolphins minus 3.5, and all of the money was on the Bears at plus 3.5. A lot of people were on the Bears and taking the points. What was the final score of that game, Buck?
35-32.
So the Bears lost by less than 3.5 points. Go figure, right? Vegas has a lot of money on the line for the Bears to lose this game. Same thing with when you look at, there was another no call, and people are complaining about the officiating in the Tennessee versus Kansas City game, right? You watched that game pretty closely, didn't you?
Facts.
How'd you feel about the officiating?
I thought it was suspect at best, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And down the stretch, Kansas City had to come back and pull something off to win this, to at least force overtime, right? They were down by 8, I believe. Yep.
3 tries at a 2-point conversion. 3.
Yeah. And during that drive, there was a key defensive holding call, was there not?
I believe there's 2 of them. But yeah, definitely one.
And they kept the drive going because it was like 3rd down and something crazy, right? It was like 3rd down and 14 or something like that.
Yep.
And it kept the game going. And then what happened? They did everything they could. Kansas City, they gave them their chance, right? They're not going to win all of them because there's going to be times where teams just can't convert. So they're not going to win all of them, but they can sure as hell change some calls. They can sure as hell swallow a whistle or decide to blow a whistle whenever the hell they want to. So, yes, I fully believe Vegas plays a big role in the NFL. I fully believe Vegas is 110% in on what happens in the NFL. And that includes player safety. That includes whether or not a player comes out because of concussion protocol. Where's the money lie? Anytime you question a call on the field, and I want everybody who's listening to do this. Anybody who listens to this podcast, whether it's live right now, on YouTube, on Facebook, whether it's in the future, you're listening on any of the podcast forums that we broadcast on, the next time you have a call that you question, ask yourself, where's the money lie with this one? Where's the money lie with the receivers over under receiving yards? Where's the money lie with the quarterbacks over under passing yards? Where's the money lie with the over under of the game? Where's the money lie with who's on the money line to win the game? Where does the money lie in this game? And watch it. Because I'm telling you right now, something's going on. And it's something bigger than any of us know. And if I die tomorrow in a car accident, it's because I decided to put this out there. Vegas has something to do with what's going on in the NFL. 110%.
Yeah, so Combs, it is funny that you say that because like I was looking at some of the spreads throughout the NFL here last week, and like Alpha Rob brings up a great game here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Rams, right? I mean, like the Rams literally stopped the Buccaneers on a 4th down play in the end zone, and then they gave Tom Brady 44 seconds to win that game. They were up by 4 at that particular point. They had to score a touchdown to win the game. The Bucs ended up winning by 6. Or sorry, ended up winning by 2, right? And then the spread was 3. So I just want to point it out there that you are definitely on something there. But I think it got... Now, if you were to tell me this a couple years ago, I'd be like, oh, you are full of shit. There is no way this is right. But now, looking at it, who is one of the major sponsors of a said 4-letter network pregame NFL show, Combs? DraftKings.
Yeah. Who
is one of the largest supporters of the NFL? FanDuel, right? We see the commercials every day. Hell, on Amazon, on Prime TV on Thursday nights, you can say, enter in promo code Amazon on your FanDuel account, and you'll get $100 for the first $100 that you put in. Tell me that FanDuel does not have a little something in the skin of the game. Now, I know what you're saying. NBA's already been caught with the referee, yada, yada, yada. Well, somebody had to take the fault, and that referee just happened to be the one that got caught, right? Now, in 5-10 years, if this all comes out and says that, yeah, Roger Goodell, the CEO of FanDuel and DraftKings, maybe it's not both of them. Maybe it's just one of them. Maybe it's Bet GMC, or not Bet GMC, but
MGM.
Yeah, MGM. Maybe it's Roger Goodell, Vegas. Why did all of a sudden did the Raiders want to move to Vegas, right? That seems kind of odd, but whatever. We digress from that. And then now all of a sudden 5-10 years after Roger Goodell retires and the NFL officiating is a lot better. Like, whoa, what was going on from 2020 to 2025, right? Like, wait a second here. Calm the F down. But on the flip side of the coin, sex sells, right, Combs? Sex sells 100% of the time. And what is sexy in the NFL? Tom Brady versus Matthew Stafford. A rematch of the NFC Championship game, 100%. Also, what is sexy? Tom Brady probably winning another championship and then riding off into the sunset, bearing all this gazelle stuff, yada, yada, yada. So it does not surprise me that things would have got swept under the rug to keep a star quarterback in the game versus Tom Brady, because they wanted Matthew Stafford versus Tom Brady at the end of the day. They don't want to see who is the backup quarterback for the Rams, Combs. You have any idea? I don't. I have no freaking clue. Do you want to see Joe Blow, backup quarterback for the LA Rams versus Tom Brady? Absolutely not. You want to see Super Bowl winning Matthew Stafford versus Super Bowl winner Tom Brady. That is what you want to see. Sex sells. That is why the concussion protocol, Matthew Stafford may have passed it or wasn't even like put it through the game. And then all of a sudden, like, how do you find a concussion 2 games after? Like legitly, how do you find a concussion 2 days after the fact? Yeah. Like, oh, my head hurts.
Because John Wolford's your backup quarterback.
Who?
That's John Wolford.
Who? Right. Like, what college did he play for? Did he play for Tulane?
Yeah, Nevada.
Okay.
Like, I have no clue.
Wolfpack. Anyways.
Yeah, maybe. Hawaii. I don't know. I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Moving on to the next way or no way of the night. The Seattle Seahawks, guys, Combs has them ranked 8th in his power rankings right now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not ranked in Combs' power rankings at all. The Seahawks have a winning record. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a losing record. However, on Sunday, the Seattle Seahawks are deemed an underdog versus Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Combs, we were just talking about Vegas. Are we sleeping on the Seattle Seahawks, or are we too hyped up about this Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finally getting a win?
I mean, it's got to be sleeping on the Seahawks at this point. I can't believe that they're an underdog against the Bucks. Right now, they're a better team than the Bucks. They're in Tampa Bay. Again, watch where the money lies, because if people are putting the money on the Bucks, let's see if Seattle runs away with this thing. But if people are putting their money on Seattle, let's see how much help the Buccaneers get to try to win this game. Because I just don't see it. I think we're sleeping on the Seahawks, because what the Seahawks are doing is far above what the Buccaneers have done this season. And I think that the Seahawks are a team that's for real. I don't think they're going away anytime soon. And I do believe that they're going to make the playoffs. So this is the last game in London too, isn't it?
It's in Germany. No. The Cowboys and Green Bay play in Germany, right?
Oh no, it is. I believe you're right. I think Bucks and Seahawks are in Germany.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe that's the reason. Maybe they feel like travel's going to be something. Maybe they think that a black quarterback won't be able to win in Germany. I don't know. Jesus. I don't know what the reason is for.
Way to toe that line for no reason, Combs.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out reasons why the Seahawks would be underdogs in this game. A 6-3 team going up against a 4-5 team that's been struggling. I don't know. I don't see it. I have no clue why the Seahawks would be. So there's definitely sleeping on the Seahawks.
Yeah, so I can kind of see it to a point, because let's flash back to 2020, right? Yes, COVID was rampant and no fans in the stands. We were playing football every day of the week. But weren't the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like 3-4 or 4-5 going to like a week 9 or week 10 game? And then all of a sudden, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady rattled off like 9 games in a row and won the freaking Super Bowl? Is this a precursor about what we're going to see? Because I said it on last night's show. I said, sit back, guys. Tom Brady's going to win his freaking 8th Super Bowl now that he beat the LA Rams and things are finally, quote, clicking, right? And just the writing is on the wall.
And right off into the sunset.
Right off. I got that Daddy Will. He's like, oh, I want to play till 55 now. But I digress from that. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are arguably the best team on paper. Right now, what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lack is all about this head case. They are a head case right now. Mike Evans is dropping wide open passes. Tom Brady is missing throws that he has never missed before, right? And they have the worst running game in the league. Well, spoiler alert, some of their offensive line comes back this week. Maybe playoff Lenny can finally become playoff Lenny and just maybe get over 50 yards in a like in a game. I don't think we're sleeping on the Seahawks. We know who the Seahawks are. They are a pretty good football team right now, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are getting that much better, and I think Vegas and the rest of the league is starting to see, oh shit, Tom Brady's getting hot. We're screwed.
Impromptu way or no way. You ready?
Ready.
Tom Brady is now a more likable figure after a divorce with Giselle.
No way. No way.
Really?
Yeah,
because I think it's a way, because I think people hated on him, and I've said this for a long time, because no man should ever be that happy, right? He wins Super Bowls through half of his career. He goes home, he gets to sleep with a supermodel wife. He has a mansion. He makes billions of dollars. Like, no man should ever be that happy. But now he's going through divorce, so now people can kind of relate to him. People can kind of like they're starting to flock to him, like they feel bad for what's going on with him, like the Antonio Brown stuff and how he's coming at him, and people are protecting Tom Brady now. Like, I feel like he's a more likable player now because of the divorce with Giselle.
So you're saying that Tom Brady is more likable because he went through a divorce. I would say that would be a way if the simple fact that he wasn't pictured with two 25-year-olds that he took home and gangbanged that same night. Like, come on, man.
I mean,
like,
they say the best way to get over somebody is to get underneath somebody else. So
did you see those two girls that he was pictured with? First of all, Tom Brady was fucking lit. Like, that guy was so gone. He was drunker then than he was at the parade.
But he's been so much fun. He's been so much fun. And good for him.
Good for him.
You're just mad because you're younger than him and you couldn't take home two 25-year-olds.
Oh, no. I believe my sister posted like a meme of like Tom Brady and like was like 2000. He had like a nice chubby face and he's all like the pretty boy, and now he's all like lean and got.
He looks younger now than he did when he was in the freaking his rookie season.
And I believe the quote was "You're not ugly, you're just poor," or something like that. It was just
it's true.
So we see Ashley in the chat here over at facebook.com/manhoursports. She says, Cowboys versus Green Bay, ? So I'm going to take it one step further. I posted a blog today on facebook.com/manhour, and I said, if Mike McCarthy loses to the Packers this week, he threw the game and wants to go back and coach for Green Bay. Way or no way, the Green Bay Packers would fire Mike LaFleur to bring back Mike McCarthy after Aaron Rodgers leaves.
What? Why would anybody want to bring back Mike McCarthy?
Mike McCarthy has
single-handedly cost the Cowboys a playoff game. He's a terrible head coach. Why would you want to bring back Mike McCarthy? Getting rid of Aaron Rodgers is going to be the biggest relief for the Packers, because once Aaron Rodgers retires after this season, which I believe that's when it's going to happen, Aaron Rodgers retires, it's going to be a big relief for Mike McCarthy. It's going to be a big relief for the Packers organization. And I believe they're going to thrive later on because of it. I think it's going to be a rebuild for the Green Bay Packers, finally. And so I think that, it's going to be really, but I don't think they're going back to McCarthy. They're not. Why would you get rid of one of the best young head coaches?
I don't know. Mike McCarthy just openly said that he wants to go back to Green Bay. So I just like, well,
so you're gonna pick you're gonna lose one of the best young head coaches to pick up an old head coach who still can't manage a clock and who still can't win in the playoffs.
First things first, that was the correct call. It was just poor execution.
It was poor coaching.
Poor execution.
It was poor coaching.
Poor execution.
Okay. Players didn't know that a ref needed to touch the ball before they could play it.
Did you know that before before that happened?
Yes.
I didn't.
If you're an NFL player, you should know that.
Well, you should also know that 2 + 2 = 5 without using a sheet of paper, but welcome to
You
the
should also know that you're an idiot.
Right. So, spoiler alert, Combs. Packers will not be rebuilding next year. They will get Jimmy G on the roster, and bada bing, bada boom, back in the Super Bowl, baby, with Jimmy G.
Problem is they're going to be contending with a Bears team that has $114 million in payroll, and
they give $100 million of it to Christian Kirk. Right, Jacksonville Jaguars, whatever.
That would be so Chicago Bears. We're gonna give you a 1 year, $100 million deal because we have 114 to spend. You go with that?
I'm good with that.
Yeah. I caught 14 balls this year. Yeah, I'm good with that. What do you mean?
Yeah. Speaking of good with that, Roquan Smith was not good about being treated. He said he was, quote, shocked, but he made his Ravens debut on Monday night versus the Saints, and he had a pretty good impact for the Baltimore Ravens moving forward. So, Combs, way or no way, Roquan Smith will single-handedly project or push the Baltimore Ravens into the playoffs this season.
I mean, I don't know about single-handedly, but he was definitely a missing piece. I said he's going to thrive. If you listen to Man Hour Chicago this past weekend, I said it was a great trade for both teams. And the Baltimore Ravens are going to thrive with Roquan Smith because he fits their system. He didn't fit the system here in Chicago. And unfortunately, because he is a great player, the Bears lost a really great player. But he didn't fit their system, so it made sense at the time to move him. And ultimately, you ended up trading Roquan Smith effectively for Chase Claypool, which it's a smart move for what you're trying to build for the future. And Roquan Smith with the Baltimore Ravens was a great move for them because Roquan Smith is a ball hawk. He's a tackling machine. That's what he does. And he's going to be an impact player for them. He's going to fit their 3-4 scheme. He is going to do good things as their weak side linebacker. So it's a way. It's a no way they're single-handedly going to do it, but it's a way that because he's there, they're a better team.
Yeah, and they are a better team with the addition of him 100%. And really, the Baltimore Ravens have a lot of flaws. One of them being they have a trash quarterback in Lamar Jackson. But the second part is they did not know how to finish games. And I don't know if Roquan Smith is that guy that knows how to finish games, aka we have a double-digit lead and we need to put the nail in the coffin. I don't know like if he is that guy that like rallies the troops or if it's a coaching thing, but he had definitely made an impact on Monday. Like I think he had like 6 tackles, 1 for like a loss, and it's like he was very effective. You could tell that the Saints were like, hey, we need to worry about this guy right here. Worry about. I mean, they were definitely game planning to make sure he wasn't around the ball a lot. And when you have to worry about one guy on the defense, that lets the rest of the defense eat. That lets three-finger JPP finally maybe be a shell of himself like he was in Giants in that Super Bowl year. So this definitely makes the Baltimore Ravens a dangerous team moving forward. But a playoff like automatic berth, I mean that to me is a no way because the AFC North is sneakily pretty.
Make the playoffs.
Well, I'm not. I mean, do you mean Combs? If you really think about it, the AFC is so loaded. Like you might have to have 10 wins to make a wild card, right? But you still might have to have 10 wins to get into the playoffs. unless you're a division winner, like the Tennessee Titans will probably be, and they'll probably sneak in the division like 8-9 or 7-10.
I mean, but the Ravens are tied for the most wins in the conference right now.
Yeah, what, they're 6-2 or 6-3, right?
6-3.
Yeah, with the Bengals, right?
Well, with the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Jets, the Dolphins.
I'm talking strictly about the AFC North.
In the AFC North, they're a game ahead of the Bengals. The Bengals are 5-4.
Right.
The Ravens are 6-3. The Browns are 3-5, and the Steelers are 2-6.
Hey, Deshaun Watson comes back next week, baby.
Against Houston too, right? And it's not next week, is it? I thought it's week 13.
I thought he had a 11 game suspension, and then like so he could play week 12 or something.
I don't know. One of the guys in my fantasy league just picked up him and Donovan Peoples-Jones off the waiver wire. That was a sneaky good pickup 2 weeks ahead of time.
Hell yeah,
I was waiting. I was gonna pounce on it too, but I was like, damn it. But yeah, it was a good pickup. But that division I think is probably the Ravens to win.
Alrighty. So the next or the final way or no way of the night here comes. Man, this hour has flown by and we're already overtime. So the Vikings and Bills play on Sunday. This game is kind of being hyped up as a preview of the Super Bowl, yada, yada, yada. But Combs, I'm going to say this, way or no way, this game is more important for the Minnesota Vikings than it is the Buffalo Bills. Way or no way?
Way. Because I think the Buffalo Bills are going to be playing without Josh Allen. And they're not expecting to go in and necessarily win with Case Keenum. If they do, it's a bonus, right? And they still feel like they're good enough to give Josh Allen a week or two off and for him to come back and run the table. So I would say this is more this game is more important to the Minnesota Vikings season because of seeding in the NFC is going to be important. And right now you're 2 games behind the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think they're going to go 17-0. So a win here to stay within at least 2 games of them, maybe 1 if they do finally lose a game, is very much more important to the Minnesota Vikings than it is to the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and I'm kind of on the same boat as that. Spoiler alert, the Philadelphia Eagles lose the rest of the season. They miss the playoffs at 8-9.
Oh
my God. But I digress from that. But this game is this game is more important for the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm going to go with way on this just because I feel like the people like you have the Minnesota Vikings ranked 4th in your power rankings, and people are saying like, whoa, where did this team come from? How are they ranked so high? Yada, yada, yada. And I feel like this is kind of like a solidification game for them because we know who the Buffalo Bills are. Yes, they lost to the New York Football Jets. Yes, they are 0-2 in the AFC East. But we still feel that the Buffalo Bills are a Super Bowl caliber team, and they're going to probably win the Super Bowl if they make it to the Super Bowl. The Minnesota Vikings, we are not sold on them at all yet. We don't even know if they're the best team in their division. Yes, their record says they are, but there are other teams in the division that could very easily sneak up on them, and they definitely have to win this game to say, yes, look at us and flex on the NFL. And this would be a huge win for them, and a loss by the Buffalo Bills, they'll be kind of like, meh. It is what it is. Josh Allen's hurt. We aren't 100%. We are going to get right in December when it matters. So that's why I think it is more important for the Minnesota Vikings moving forward.
Yeah, I mean it's just it is. I mean it's definitely a more important game for the Minnesota Vikings because you're taking a chance of falling 3 games out of the number 1 seed in the conference. If the Bills lose, they're only 1 game out of the number 1 seed in the conference. So it's a much bigger game for the Minnesota Vikings.
Also, on the flip side of the coin, I touched on this a little bit last night. I don't think the Buffalo Bills care too much about a first seed or a home field advantage or anything to that effect because they are a very pass-happy offense. They like to throw the ball all over the field. Can you throw the ball all over the field in the snow? Not very effectively, right?
Well, I mean, you could. I've seen teams do it, and I mean, why not?
You could, but is it easier to do it in a dome?
Just take a little bit of air out of the ball.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just saying. I mean, Tom Brady was pretty effective in the snow.
With minus 0.6 PSI, right, or something like that, whatever it was.
With small balls.
He doesn't have any small balls anymore. He is unloading them on a 25-year-old, so.
No, that's why they're small.
Do what you got to do, man. All right, guys, that is going to be it for the man hour. We're going off the rails. That means it is time to end the show. We're going to end it here, guys. Join us tomorrow. Me, myself, and Tori will be on Talk Some Fantasy Football. If you guys are interested in some fantasy football, tune in, get those questions, and of course, join the fantasy football discussion group if you guys have any questions. Tori is there to answer them. But Combs, any closing thoughts before we head out?
Sprite and Apple Captain Morgan. You are welcome, Man Hour Nation. Rise up.